Hello, so lovely to see you here. Today's video is the final installment of a three-part series where we are going to every Alfred's in LA. If you missed the first two, I will link those for you. The first video, we hit up all the mid-city locations, including the original Melrose Place. And the second video, we went and hit up all the West Side locations. And today's video, we are going to all the Valley location plus Silverlake because I added that in this one. And after going, I don't know if I would have, I probably should have thrown it into mid-city because it really is not in the valley, but too late now. So before we start talking location, let's just do a little recap. These videos are going to be about the location themselves, not the drinks. So we're just going to talk about seating, parking, and then just like the overall vibe aesthetics of each location. The first Alfred's opened up on Melrose Place in early 2013. The founder is a man named Josh Sad, at Josh from Alfred's. If you're on Instagram, definitely follow him if you love Alfred's as much as me. He definitely puts like little hints of what locations are coming or like how soon the locations will be opening. I think the next one that's going to open is probably the Beverly location. And then I did sneak by the Encino location. I did get a clip of where that's going to be, so make sure you stick to the end. I'll put that at the end of this video. I always like to do these locations like north to south. I always like to do these videos being like going from east to west or south to north. So in today's video, we're going all the way east to Pasadena to Silverlake to Burbank, Studio City, Coldwater Canyon, and then I will show you a little hint of where the Encino location is. So without further ado, let's talk about our first location, Pasadena. So I really love the Pasadena location. It is kind of small. Maybe it's kind of the same thing as like the West Side locations where just rent is crazy or the space available is minimal because they are popular locations. But I love Pasadena because there's something about Pasadena that is just like that old Hollywood vibe. Just that city, it just feels like, you know, there's just that energy of like this was kind of a place back in like the golden age of Hollywood. So as far as seating go, there are some metal tables on Colorado and then kind of like the alleyway. And there's like a high top, I keep calling it a bench, but what is it, like a railing thing? So there is one of those and then like high seats. And then there's like a little cushion bench on the window, which is really cute. Like I think like if you were trying to be like an Instagram aesthetic, like you could just like kind of sit there and have the photographer on the other side of the window taking a photo. I should have done that. Why didn't I do that? Oh yeah, because I had both of my children when I went to the Pasadena location. As far as parking, there is parking all around, just not on right in front of Alfred's, but you can get very lucky with parking. I usually park closer to like there's this like souffle pancake place called Moto, and around that store, which is like only a block away from Alfred's, there are a good amount of like metered parking. There are parking lots all over the place. I don't know why I never used a parking lot when I've been in Pasadena. I usually always can find parking. And there's just so many things around that it's like if I have to park 2 blocks away, you know, I don't mind because then I can just like kind of window shop and maybe I want to check out a different store while I'm in Pasadena. The vibe of this place, it is a historic building. I really, really appreciate that like they have that Art Deco kind of like stained glass window that has the Alfred's Coffee when you walk in. I remember when they opened, they were giving out like Pasadena Alfred's hat that kind of looks like kind of look like the Rose Bowl logo. And I wish I would have like I have like regret like not getting the Malibu one and not getting the Pasadena one. So Josh, if you're watching this, can you please put something out for the Encino location? Because I would love a location specific merch. I just, you know, failed the last 2 times that they've been offered. I wouldn't say that this place is kind of like a bust out your laptop and work from home or like do some work. I did see someone working on their laptop, but I think because there's so minimal seating space, it might kind of be looked down upon. What I did see a lot of is like people getting coffee with their friends, sitting and catching up and then leaving. So I think that's more of the vibe here, is kind of just like, you know, let's take a break from shopping, sit, grab a coffee, and then, you know, get going. The next location is Silverlake. So long time ago, my best friend lived in Hollywood, and we would walk from Hollywood all the way to Echo Park. If you know LA, that is a very long way. So Alfred's was always like the recharge point for us. We'd get like our coffee to get, you know, our second wind to go from Silverlake to Echo Park and then all the way back. Should we go? Do you want to go to Alfred? Yes. So I've been to this Alfred so many times, but I think the last time I had been here is like 2018, and they have definitely remodeled the place. I remember when it first opened, it kind of had that floral, like dark floral wallpaper that is very reminiscent of the one that they have in the Melrose Place location. And like I always felt, as far as like the decor and vibe go, it was like a mini Melrose Place. But this time I went in and they looked like they completely revamped it. It's now this like bluish gray paint, art on the other side of the wall of like the But First Coffee neon sign on the other side. It's very like classic, like timeless, modern. What would I call it? It feels very like timeless. I think I would say timeless. It just has like this very like I don't know, like you almost get like to me, it feels like I get transported in time to like a coffee shop from the 50s or 60s. As far as seating goes, there's very, very minimal seating. So when you go up the ramp, there is like, then you like go in and then go out. There is like an elevated patio area, and they had a big like 4-top table and 2 small round tables. I feel like you could not fit more than 1 table. Like if someone sat at that 4-top table, there's no way that you can fit any more people at that 2-top, because then it would just be too squished. There was 1 patio table on like the sidewalk, like right next to the elevated patio. But there was 3 girls sitting there and talking, so I didn't want to film, because I don't want to be like that weird person filming strangers. I do my very best to like try to not get people's faces in my videos, although I'm not always successful. I noticed in like my last video, I got a couple of faces and I felt really bad about it. And then as far as parking, there was metered parking like directly in front on Sunset. You can act like there was always a spot available. So I feel like you could definitely find parking here easily. Once you pass Alfred's, almost like directly, you can take a right into this street called Mitchell Torrena Street, but it is residential. And it looks like some of the spaces are 15 minutes. So yeah, I would like try to just stick with Sunset and not go into residential streets. I just really like this location because like it just reminds me so much of going to this Alfred's all the time with my best friend Melissa. Like this was like our thing, you know. We'd leave her house in Hollywood and then just walk all the way and then get a coffee at Alfred's and then walk all the way to Echo Park, eat at Mohawk Bend or eat at Floor, and then like call it a day. It was always like our thing. Like we love to just spend all day walking on a day off. So, you know, on a weekend, we would just, depending how early we'd start, we'd walk 9 to 13 miles for fun. Burbank is the first place that I filmed back in June when I first had the idea to do this series, and I wasn't fully committed, but I was like, okay, I'm going to try Burbank because Burbank is usually quieter. So let's see how well I do filming in public, because I wasn't sure if the nerves would get the best of me, and I think I did okay with this series. You guys can tell me. So the Burbank location is not really like a location. It's like a window. So you can't go inside. It's just a window you order, and then on the other window you pick up. It has some like patio tables on the outside, I think when I went there, there's only like 3. And then they have this like big tile motif of the, I guess it would be like the Alfred's flower. Like they use that flower wallpaper where it's like, I mean, I've seen that wallpaper now at like Sawtell and Abbot Kinney, where it's just like the flowers and then like the 2 black dash marks, so like almost like a sprinkle. So it's really cute. It's, I think this place is more for locals. I kept seeing people walking there instead of like coming from their car. As far as parking, there is a lot of street parking. There's 2-hour parking on Maple, 1-hour parking on Riverside. I did find street parking no problem, but it was also like a Tuesday at 10:30 in the morning. I imagine that it does get busy on the weekends because Alfred's is on the same block as that really popular pastry. What is it, like Lou the Frenchie on the block? Oh yeah, sorry, Lou the French on the block. But Lou the French on the block is only open Friday through Sunday. So if you go like, in the morning on any other days, I think you'll be fine. But that is something to just kind of keep in mind that it could get very busy on the weekends. I went in June, so it wasn't quite hot yet. Like we're in a week, we're having triple digits. So I imagine like if you were going to go here and at this time, it would be so hot you would not want to sit on those tables. Like, yeah, there's an umbrella, but you're in Burbank. There is no ocean breeze. So, I think this is definitely more of like a local residential business. Let's go get a coffee, take it to where we're at. There was one guy working on a laptop, but it wasn't hot yet, so it's not as crazy. But I could not imagine if I went today. I don't think anyone would be sitting out there. Yeah, I really like this location. I just thought the building's so cute. It's just like, a window where you get Alfred's. That like kind of novelty is very fun. I love like the motif is super cute. It's very Burbank. Like it's very clean, very safe. There's no trash around. And yeah, I really enjoyed this location. Next on the list is Studio City. This place is so cute. Like I really love the white brick with like the black Alfreds and black and white awning and the green vines, like just kind of, going around. It felt very East Coasty. It kind of gave me like the same vibe as the one I went to in the Palisades. And then inside was cute too because it had like green and wooden accents, the Butler's coffee in script above, and it is small. There is no seating inside. There is seating. I saw 2 tables in the patio that's kind of attached to the building, and then 1 table that is kind of like on the sidewalk. And then they do what I call is the COVID patio, where they take a parking spot and turn it into extra seating. So I did sit there for a little bit to enjoy the matcha croissant, which if you haven't had it, it's so good. Oh my gosh. Like that is like my favorite matcha croissant I've had so far. But yeah, so I think there's like 4 or 5 seatings in that COVID parking. So it's okay for seating wise. I don't know. I didn't see too many people doing any work. It was more people like catching up for coffee. And then as far as parking goes, I had to drive around twice. It's just like by Laurel Canyon and Ventura. So it's a very busy intersection. It's kind of like on the offshoot of the intersection, but you still have to go around. There are some shopping centers around that have their own parking lot, but I don't want to recommend parking there because I know businesses kind of frown if you use that parking and don't visit that business that's in that shopping center. But yeah, I did go around twice. I was lucky enough to find metered parking, but I didn't see any like paid parking lots that you could go to. So yeah, I don't know if I would come to this one again just because of the parking situation. Again, like if I lived there, I don't know. I would probably go to the next one we're going to talk about at Coldwater Canyon. So the Coldwater Canyon location is not too far from the Studio City location. But if I think about where the majority of people in LA live, it makes sense to have two Alfreds that close to each other. It's kind of like the mid-city locations where you had Melrose Place, Glossier Alley, and Robertson, kind of like all very close to each other. But there's so many people that live in that part of the city that would love to go to Alfred's, that it makes sense to have them that close. So I think that's why they put the Coldwater Canyon, because maybe like the Studio City Alfred's was just getting too busy. So the Coldwater Canyon Alfred's, I was able to find parking right in front, metered parking. And when I was there, there was always one spot available. But then, of course, after I leave, I realized that they have their own parking structure. So the shopping center that Alfred's is part of, there is a parking structure. I think they have like above ground and underground parking, which I believe is free. So I will know that for the next time. I thought this location was very cute, and I feel like they really were intentional with the design of this location to make sure that it did not look like the Studio City location. So of course, I mean, all of them have like the black and white awning when they do have an awning. So there's the huge black and white awning, but I love the yellow accent. The yellow, they had like a yellow tile right in front, and all the front patio tables had yellow chairs. It felt very, and I could be wrong by categorizing it like this, but it felt very like Paris in the spring. And then inside they had like the Alfred's flower wallpaper. I thought it was so cute. Even like the bench seating inside, like they have a bench against both walls and then tables. And then the opposite side would have a chair. And all of like the seating was super comfortable. I sat and like talked to my friend Melissa while I was like catching up and getting my first coffee of that day. And I really loved the But First coffee off the ceiling. Like that is the first, I think that's the only one that they kind of do that so far. But like I just think they were very intentional and very smart to like make it so different from the Studio City location. This location had a lot of people with their laptops out doing work or like having a business meeting. So I don't know what else. I think there's like a workout place inside this shopping center, because I did see some people dressed in like athleisure. But I think if I lived in Studio City, this one would be the one that I would go to. I think it's the yellow tile. Like, I know that's a weird thing to to like really be obsessed about, but it just like, it's just so cute. Like, I love it. Made me feel like so happy just to like see this location. And that concludes all of the location. It's a little bittersweet. I had so much fun like making it, a task to go to all these locations and having a reason to leave the valley. But Beverly is opening up hopefully soon. I don't know when Encino is going to open. So when I went to Encino location, which I'll drop the footage right here. So the Encino location, I don't think they have really started too much building. And I even saw somewhere that someone was complaining that it's been forever and they still haven't like made a dent in any progress. Although there is that gate up, so they might be doing something inside. I didn't get to see what was inside because it was so hot and like the sun was just in that position where it was giving off a glare. But yeah, I wonder, I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with this location, because like as of right now, are they going to share the parking lot next to Fat Sal's? Because then that was such a small parking area. The street parking is minimal, so we'll just have to like see. I'm just, now that I know where it is, I'm going to be stalking this location, trying to see when it's going to open. So now that I've been to all LA locations minus LAX, my top 5, if I take out all biases, because, I have such a heartstring for Sawtelle and Malibu. But if I had to pick a top 5 just based on aesthetics, like what it looks like, I would have to say Marina del Rey, Beverly Hills, Coldwater Canyon. Oh gosh, it's hard. Pasadena, and probably Westwood. As far as parking, I think the best parking is Beverly Hills. I think that one was like the easiest for me to get in. I love that it was shaded. And there's always like plenty, so you don't have to worry. Palisades was great for parking. Coldwater Canyon is great for parking. And Marina del Rey. And if you're someone who is looking for a place to take out their laptop and work, so the top 5 for that would be definitely Koreatown. Like, I think that's the most comfortable and there's so many spaces, followed by Coldwater Canyon. And the next 3, I'm going to say if it isn't busy, it's great. So Westwood, but it can get very loud because a lot of students go there to do their work. When I went, Abbot Kinney was good because there was not that many people and there was a lot of seats. And maybe like a tie between Beverly Hills and the original Melrose Place. No, don't do Melrose Place. I do Beverly Hills because they have that like nice patio and there is a lot of tables outside on that patio that's facing Santa Monica. But the only 2 that I think I would really recommend where it's like you for sure can find a place to sit down, have a coffee and work is Koreatown and Coldwater Canyon. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I might do more depending on when Beverly opens or when Encino opens, or maybe I will do like a taste test of their seasonal beverages that they come out with. They just ended their summer, so hopefully they come out with either a fall or a winter. So yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.